I'm back. See, what had happened was Megan Thee Stallion made her return. Make sure y'all stream Cobra. But here I am. I too have made my return. Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Taya's Turning Pages. So, long time no speak. I hope y'all are doing well. I know I went ghost on y'all once again. I'm so sorry about that. At least this one wasn't as long as the last one. So clap for me. Everybody clap for me. Thank God my mental health wasn't that bad, right? Similar to a lot of people right now, I am still going through it, but I really do need to get back into the swing of things and keep y'all as updated as possible and really making sure that I don't let my channels go dark the way that I have been doing. Before we get into that, I did just want to address and say, yes, I am obviously in my car. I am just like in the parking lot of a mall. And I just wanted to have a cute little car chit chat. This was originally going to be a coffee car chit chat, but it's getting later in the day and honestly I was in the mall and so I was craving Auntie Anne's and that's exactly what I got. So we're gonna have a little strawberry lemonade chit chat and go from there. So like I said, I went to Auntie Anne's, I got the strawberry lemonade, and then I also got some of their pretzel nuggets. And one thing about me, whenever I go to the mall, I get Auntie Anne's. I love Auntie Anne's so much, and it's hilarious because they actually follow me on Twitter. Why? I don't know. Very random, but they do follow me on Twitter, and I'd be so tempted to why is the light looking like the fuck? I get so tempted and I'd be wanting to DM them so bad and say, what do I need to do in order to get a lifetime supply of pretzels from y'all? Their pretzels should not slap the way that they do. But yeah, anyways, make sure you grab a drink or a little snack so that way we can sit down and, like I said, just have a little bit of girl time, have a little bit of gossiping time, spilling the tea, whatever you want to call it, because yeah, we gotta talk, y'all. We really do. Oh, this is good. That was good. Honestly, that Auntie Anne's didn't really have anything in stock except for the nuggets, so that's why I got this. Normally I get like a regular pretzel, but you know, we move. And if you hear any noise, like I said, I am in a parking lot, so there are cars driving past. And I do have a mini book haul because I did stop at Target today, and of course I had to go to the book section, and I saw that two of my favorite authors came out with new releases, so I decided to pick them up. I'll show you guys those books at the end of the video. If you aren't really interested in kind of what I got going on and what's really been happening, then just skip to this timestamp that's on the screen / in the description box. But if you are here to chat, thank you, you're a real one, and I hope you have a great day. I had to actually change locations for a minute because there was just a lot going on in this one part of the parking lot that I was in. Like, I don't know. Now, I'm not going to go in depth just because that's just not me. I don't really like to share that type of information on the internet, not because of y'all. I obviously love the community that I've built, but at the same time, the internet is such a wide, vast space, and unfortunately, your content can escape your bubble and seep into other sectors of the internet that you don't want it to seep into. And I just feel like spending as much time as I do on Twitter specifically, I see how content like that unfortunately gets met with a lot of vitriol and just spiteful and hateful responses from people. And I understand that we're all going through it and like people are miserable, right? But I just feel like some of the comments and replies that I see from people in response to people's videos where they're being vulnerable and open and transparent about their mental health, it just never ends well. So I just really want to avoid that. I just like, I don't want to open up a Pandora's box, you know? So I'm not going to go too in depth about what I'm experiencing, but just know that I too am going through it. And if you are as well, you're not alone. We see each other, I see you, you see me, and hopefully better days are ahead and we can get through it. That's really all I can kind of say on that front. But yeah, I just, I'm not doing well. I think I mentioned to y'all in maybe a couple of videos back that I recently started a new job. And to be honest, y'all, it has been a huge adjustment. Like, it really has. I've only been here for about maybe 2.5 months, close to 3. And even though this job isn't completely out of the realm in which I've worked, because for those of you who do not know, I do work in the communications industry. I actually have a degree in advertising and public relations with a specific focus on public relations. But I don't work in public relations / PR anymore, just for personal career reasons. So once I ended up leaving PR, I ended up working in the social media sphere. So not just what I do here on YouTube and Instagram, but I have worked at other companies and agencies where I served as a social media strategist, or just someone that is a good point person to go to for social media type questions, tasks, things like that. So that's really where my experience lies. And this job that I currently have, it's part of it, but it's not the full job. There's like a lot of other things that I have to do that I've never done before, or that I am trying to improve upon, or just like kind of like, what's the word? I forget the word. I can't figure out the word that I'm looking for, but like some of the stuff that I am doing in this job, I have done before. I'm just a bit rusty. So I'm trying to, like, you know, like I said, just get my footing essentially. And it's been a time. It's been a real time. And so because of that, that has affected my motivation and my want to read and just do other things, which is really unfortunate, but that's just kind of how my brain works. When I'm really busy in one area of my life, I tend to let other areas suffer, which is not good. I'm working on it. I'm hoping that I can, you know, figure out a healthier coping mechanism for when a certain part of my life gets stressful, so that way, like I said, other parts of it don't suffer. But that's just kind of the reality of where I'm at right now. Hold on, because I'm sitting in here now with like no window down and I'm sweating. Oh my god, oh my god. I do have ebbs and flows with my mental health like everyone else on the planet, right? But I don't have a therapist and I don't really have any, again, healthy coping mechanisms to help me work through the tough times in my life. I'm hoping to get a therapist by the end of this month, early December. I had to wait for my insurance to kick in since I just started this job not too long ago. And so because of that, I haven't really had the chance, like I said, to actually sit down with someone and just really work through everything that's going on in my mind and just in my life. So I'm hoping that once I am able to find a therapist, that'll help me get back on track, because right now I'm really just raw dogging life. I'm really just raw dogging it, y'all, and it's whooping my ass. I can't even lie. I don't know how some people are able to go through the trials and tribulations of life without a therapist or without, you know, extra supplementals, if you know what I mean. I totally understand people having their own vices and just things that help them get through the day, because doing the shit, just, again, raw dogging it, it's really difficult. So yeah, that's kind of a loose, vague description of kind of what I've been going through. But the main thing really is, like I said, just trying to figure out this whole new job, and also just trying to figure out what I want to do in life, period. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm really just having a reckoning of sorts with what is my purpose in life, what is my potential, am I going to be able to reach my full potential, what am I meant to do, etc., etc. I feel like a lot of us have these types of questions, but I feel like especially as you get older, they start to really get louder and louder in your head and really just kind of sit on your mind. And that's something that I've been experiencing these past couple of years, is just trying to figure out, what do I want to actually do with my life, period. And even though I love Booktube and I love Bookstagram, I could never see myself turning this into a full-time career. Shout out to my fellow content creators, booktubers, bookstagrammers, booktalkers that are able to sustain this and make this into a career. I love that for them, but me personally, that's not something that I want, nor have I envisioned for myself. Especially with me going ghost the way that I do, there is no way that I would be able to make this sustainable, because when I need a break, I need a break. And for me, reading really is supposed to be fun. I know a lot of people say that, but for me, truly, like, reading needs to be fun for me. It needs to be worthwhile, and I have to be in the mood to want to do it. And I'm not going to act like I haven't had fantasies or dreams of being a successful, like, top 1% YouTuber. I feel like a lot of us have, especially if you consume regular YouTube content from like lifestyle vloggers, etc. You see a lot of the opportunities that they're able to get. You see a lot of the income that comes their way as well. And so I'm not gonna act like I'd never had like a thought or a fantasy of wanting to be that. But in terms of like a full-time booktuber or bookstagrammer, like, no. For me, I don't see that being something that's long-term or something that I could sustain long-term. And that's not me talking down on myself or saying that I can't do it. I don't know, I don't want it bad enough, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This is really a passion project slash a hobby for me. And you guys have heard me say that, if you've been subscribed to me for a while, that this is not my end-all be-all say-all. There are some things that I'm hoping to put in motion in 2024. I'm not gonna get into it because y'all will know when the time comes, but I'm really hoping to put some things in motion in 2024 that pertains to my career. And so being a full-time YouTuber or content creator just does not align with that. And with me going ghost as much as I do, I just also can't see myself being a full-time creator, because you can't do that. You cannot do that if this is your job, if this is your livelihood, especially because when it comes to the money that you can get from YouTube or these social media platforms, it fluctuates every single month, pretty much for every creator. Obviously, there are some that are able to map it out and budget and have it set a certain amount, but I feel like, again, those are for the more top like 1% YouTubers. For the majority of YouTubers, that's just not the case. It's going to fluctuate, and there might be some months where you literally get $0, and I can't have that. I need a stable income, okay? Like, I got bills to pay just like everybody else, and I also love to shop. So all that to say, I gotta have a stable income, right? it is what it is. So yeah, I don't really anticipate this video being super long. I really did just want to come on here and give you guys a quick update as to where I've been, and also just kind of have this serve as like a buffer or a transition into my regularly scheduled content. I do plan on filming a reading vlog next, so definitely make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm already in the process of filming that now, which I'm really excited about, especially because this is going to be the first book that I have read since I went ghost, and it's a romance book. I'm not going to give anything else away because it needs to be a surprise, but it is a romance book, so really excited for that. And in terms of Taya's Thrilltober, I'm so sorry that I flopped and I dropped the ball on that. Again, life was lifing, and I just could not really finish what I intended to start and what I intended to finish, but I hope you guys enjoyed the few videos that I did do. And of course, next year I will continue Taya's Thrilltober and hopefully make it a bit more robust and also stick to it. That is the actual goal, is to stick to it and to really film and post consistently all throughout the month of Thrilltober/October. So again, really sorry about that, but I do appreciate the outpour of support that I got from y'all on the actual series. It was really nice to see you guys, you know, just compliment the name that I came up with and just the type of content that I was doing. Like, I really appreciate it, and that makes me feel really good. Next year we'll be back and better than ever, hopefully, right? But for this year, really sorry about that, but we're moving on to Thanksgiving and Christmas now. Now, in terms of Bookmas or Vlogmas, child, we gonna have to talk about that. Okay, like, I cannot think about that right now. I'm going to have to, but like right now, I cannot think about Vlogmas and what that's going to look like for me, if I can even execute something like that, especially because I did not execute Thrilltober. So y'all will just have to stay tuned and see what I end up doing for that. But I really don't want to overpromise, you know, because like I said, I'm actually sweating. You probably saw like a huge glob of sweat right here. I'm gonna have to roll down the window or do something. Maybe I'll turn on my air. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn on my air, so I'm really sorry, y'all. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna have to turn on my air, so I'm really sorry, y'all, but I tried. I cannot believe that it still gets super hot right now. We are in fall/November, about to be in December, and I still have to turn on the fucking air. Like, that's insanity. And I live in Pennsylvania. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, that's really all of the updates that I had to give y'all. I know it wasn't much, but I hope you can understand why I'm not really comfortable sharing too much or going deeper than that. Maybe once I finally come out on the other side of this, I'll be able to open up more and give you guys more insight as to what I was really going through in 2023. But as of right now, that's all I'm comfortable sharing. So I hope you can understand. But with that out of the way, I wanted to show you the 2 books that I got from Target. Yes, I limited myself to 2 books, and I'm really proud because they had some really nice options, I feel like, in my Target, and it was really hard deciding on which books I wanted. I also was looking for, what's that book called? Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I have been wanting to read that book so badly, and they had her new book out, which I think is called Wild Heart or something like that. I don't know. I'll pop it up on the screen, but they had her new book, but they didn't have Icebreaker. That makes no sense. So I'm really pissed off about that because I actually really want to read that book. Everybody that I have seen talk about that book recently has said that it's actually very steamy, and I'm here for it. So I want to pick it up for that, but also because I just love a good hockey romance. Like, I really don't care what type of day I'm having or what type of time I'm going through or what's happening around me in the world. I love a good sports romance, but especially basketball and ice hockey. I don't care. I don't know why those 2 sports specifically are great backdrops to romance, but they usually are, and they usually hit it for me every single time. So I'm hoping that I can pick up Icebreaker at some point. I actually do plan on doing a little Barnes & Noble shop with me video this month, so definitely make sure you stay tuned for that, because yeah, your girl will be at Barnes & Noble because I've not been there in a long time. I miss being in an actual bookstore and not just like a Target, you know, so I can't wait to go there. But anyways, the 2 books that I got are very random. So the first book that I have here is a Christmas book. Shocker, I know, but it is Tessa Bailey's new book, which is called Wreck the Halls. So I follow Tessa Bailey on Instagram, and she has been promoting the hell out of this book, as she should, because of course it's a new release, but she's been promoting the hell out of this book. And I've had this on my radar since she first posted about this, because I really enjoyed her other Christmas book, which is called Window Shopping. A lot of people did not like Window Shopping, but I am here to say that I am one of the few that really did like Window Shopping. Like, I am a window shopping apologist. I thought that the book was camp. It was a little cringe, but it was camp and it was fun, and I love the whole Christmas in New York backdrop to it. So once I saw that she was coming out with a new Christmas book, I knew I was going to have to pick it up. I'm happy that this was available in my Target, and I'm also happy that I got it before Christmas time, because I have this tendency to tell myself that I'm going to read all of these Christmas novels and then I never pick them up. So the fact that I was able to get ahead of the curve and pick it up now, period. So I actually have no idea what this is about, but I will say that this cover is so cute. but I feel like Tessa Bailey's covers are always really cute, and even Window Shopping I thought was a very cute cover. But I'm just going to read the synopsis on the back here because, like I said, I don't know anything about this book. But right here it says, #1 New York Times bestselling author Tessa Bailey delivers a sexy, hilarious, standalone holiday rom-com about the adult children of 2 former rock stars who team up to convince their estranged mothers to play a Christmas Eve concert. That is a mouthful, but I am intrigued. Melody Gallard may be the daughter of music royalty, but her world is far from glamorous. She spends her days restoring old books and avoiding the limelight. One awkward tabloid photo was enough, thanks. But when a producer offers her a lot of money to reunite her mother's band on live TV, Mel begins to wonder if it's time to rattle the cage, shake up her quiet life, and see him again, the only other person who could wrangle the rock and roll divas. Pete Dawkins, the lead singer's son, is Melody's opposite. The camera loves him. He could charm the pants off of anyone. And his mom is not a potential cult leader. Still, they might have been best friends if not for the legendary feud that broke up the band. When they met as teenagers, Mel felt an instant spark, but it's nothing compared to the wild, intense attraction that builds as they embark on a madcap mission to convince their mothers to perform one last show. While dealing with rock star shenanigans, a 24-hour film crew, brawling Santas, and mobs of adoring fans, Mel starts to step out of her comfort zone. With Beat by her side, cheering her on, she's never felt so understood. But Christmas Eve is fast approaching, and a decades-old scandal is poised to wreck everything. The Steel Birds reunion, their relationships with their mothers, and their newfound love. One thing about Tessa Bailey, she always has a lot going on in her synopsises and her stories. Like, there's always so much more than the actual, like, main characters' storylines. Like, there's always something else happening in the background, and I really like that. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. You just know that there's going to be a lot of hijinks and shenanigans that the characters get up to. Like, all of the characters. So, I'm really excited to give this one a read. I probably won't read this one until maybe late November, early December, if anything. I might try to do a reading vlog where I read this book as well as maybe 2 other Christmas-themed books, because I do have another one I for sure want to read that I didn't read last year. So yeah, I might include this in a video, but really excited to have this. And then the last book that I have here is actually a wild card. Why did nobody tell me that this author wrote a romance book? Now granted, I have not been on Bookstagram or Booktube or anything like that in the past couple of weeks, so clearly missed it. But like, why did nobody tell me? But the book that I'm referring to is It's a Date, again, by Geneva Rose. Y'all, Geneva Rose wrote romance book. Hello? Why did I not know this? Like, y'all know how much I love Geneva Rose's books, specifically her thrillers. She is truly one of my goats when it comes to the genre. And so for her to write a romance book, oh baby, I'm sad. I'm sad. I need to see if this book is going to give the way that her thrillers give. And I'm also curious to see what the general consensus is on this book and what people are saying about it on Goodreads or on Bookstagram. Again, I take everybody's reviews, with the exception of a few people, with a grain of salt. But I am really curious to know what people's thoughts are on this book, because I feel like Geneva Rose's thrillers are already polarizing. So I can only imagine her having the girls in a tizzy about a romance book, especially because romance book reviewers, to me, are hard critics. Like, it is very hard to impress a romance reader, especially one that is an avid romance reader. It's so hard to impress them. So I'm very curious to see where I'm going to fall on the spectrum, of course, but also what other people are saying about this book, because if it's anything like the discourse that comes out of her thrillers, then But I'm happy to see that she's genre bending and she's branching out and, you know, doing her thing. I feel like a lot of authors nowadays are starting to dip and dabble into other genres, and I like that because it shows their versatility, their range, and not too many people can do that. So if you are able to do that and have that duality, or at least that multifaceted, you know, thing going on with you and your writing and your career, that sets you apart. It really does set you apart from the crowd. So I love to see it. But again, similar to Wreck the Halls, I have no idea what this is about. I just saw Geneva Rose's name and I picked it up. But on the back here it says, "A guy told me he loved me tonight." Peyton Sanders hopes it's not too late to say it back. Done with the dead-end relationships and swiping right, she knows who her heart belongs to. But as she races to tell him how she feels, she's hit by a car and wakes up with amnesia. Oh Lord, it gets worse. Peyton has no clue who the 3 men who show up at her hospital bed are, except they each claim to be her boyfriend. They're certainly worth remembering. A rustic-looking contractor heaven in flannel, a tailored consultant with a smile to die for, and a tattooed chef with a box of homemade chocolates, both delicious. Peyton's friends Maya and Robbie have an idea. Date each man again. Recognizing her soulmate should be as easy as 1, 2, 3. On a wildly romantic and dizzyingly fun journey, Peyton runs once again toward love. This time, hopefully, her heart can guide her where her mind cannot. This sounds like this is going to be a fucking mess, but like, I mean that in such a nice... I mean that in such a nice way because I feel like Geneva Rose's books are an acquired taste, and I really enjoy the direction she takes her readers in when it comes to her stories. You think that they're going to go one way and they go in a completely different direction. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out, but I do have a question. Maya and Robbie, Peyton's best friends, they obviously know who her boyfriend is or who she's talking to, right? Like, if they're her besties, wouldn't they know who she's talking to? So why don't they just tell her who? And I know that obviously if they did, then there would be no story. But like, is that not weird? Maybe Geneva Rose will explain that a little bit more in the book. Like maybe her, Maya, and Robbie just haven't really talked about her love life in depth like that before she got into this accident. So maybe that's what it is. Because I'm really trying to figure out, like, why would her best friends not know who she's actually dating? And then for these men to show up and, you know, like, I don't know, this I'm actually really excited to give this a read. I don't know who the publisher of this book is. There's like, oh, Montlake. Okay, I didn't know if this was like indie published or something. I don't know, child. But either way, these books, I'm excited. I'm very excited. So yeah, I'm really happy that I found these in my Target, and I will let you guys know my thoughts, of course, in later videos. All right, y'all, and that's really it. I don't really have too much else to say. Like I said, this video wasn't going to be super long as is, just because I wanted to give you guys just a quick life update as to where I've been, and to have this kind of serve as a transition into my regularly scheduled content. So I'm aiming to have this reading vlog that I'm currently filming right now out on Sunday, November 12th. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me and my channel out. And lastly, please make sure you follow me on Bookstagram as well as Storygraph. I will leave all of that information linked down below, as well as at the end of the video, like I always do. I will see you guys in my next video.